mom had me when she was 17. So I was the oldest out of three of us. Okay, but before with my biological dad and my mom were together, as growing up, I used to witness fights. Because I witnessed my dad strangling my mom on the floor with a fan cord as a kid at 4 years old. And as I was older, he still couldn't believe that I still remember it. But it was trauma, so I definitely would remember that. And so growing up from there, so once she separated from my dad, she met my stepdad, and the fights would continue with him as well, but not as severe as it was, but it was happening. And so for that, I never got along with him or like my stepdad, but those are my brother's dad. From there, I always felt like an outside of the family because, of course, she married my stepdad, and so everybody in the house had the same last name except me. So many things I began to do to try to fit in or to draw attention to myself. I was expelled from middle school from fighting for, being bullied. And from there, I went on a rampage of fighting. When the drug use started, that started as far as, being a person that was trying to fit in when I was already in the in crowd, but trying to go with a group of people that was going down the wrong path. But I didn't try anything until I got to college, and I went to college here in Jacksonville. I went to Edward Waters, but that's when I was exposed to a lot of different things. I was supposed to be in class, but I wasn't because I found out where the club was at because I had a car when I was here. So from there, that's when the actual drug use started because I had never done anything, drink or drug, smoke weed or anything until I got to college. So I was experiencing life, and then from there, it began to escalate. I went to try other things done. Eventually, I stopped going to school, and I just began to work. I became a manager at McDonald's from that time. I became a certified food manager. That's how I sustained myself for a while. And from here, I moved from Jacksonville while I was in college. I moved to Orlando. Because of drugs, I was introduced to ecstasy pills when that first came out. So I tried that, and I wound up picking up, and I just left and moved to Orlando. And from there, it began to escalate with pills and things of that nature. And from there, my life was just beginning. It was okay, but I wasn't doing the things I should have been doing as far as taking care of myself. And eventually, I went back home to my parents' house, and then from there, things wasn't going right because I was still trying to do things and not abide by her rules in her house. From there, this began to get drug charges, possession of cocaine. I have like 3 or 4 on my record. and things it was just going crazy. Just like I had my own place doing drugs, and then I'll never forget, I had a car. I was getting to Fort Lauderdale. I was getting off the exit, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. A homeless guy, he came to my car. He asked me to help him, and I cussed that man out. Get away from my car, But then to find out later, I found myself on that same ramp doing the exact same thing. And I began to cry because I heard God say, be careful how you treat people because it's just as well as could be you. Now look. And from there, that was a lesson learned on how to treat people. So that changed my perspective on life. So being in that homeless state, it taught me about people. It taught me about life. It taught me that I need people, that I can't do it alone, and that I need my family. I kind of got myself up, and then I went to a shelter in Fort Lauderdale. I did fine. Then when I got home, I was at my mom's house, that next couple of days, my stepdad, he passed away at work. He had a heart attack at work. And before he died, we had gotten close. So that was kind of wow. It was kind of shocking. I didn't really care for him, but I had to realize he was in my life since I was 4. I'm 44 now. So he was there. So it affected me still because that was the male figure that was there. Even though he wasn't a good male role model to me, but to my brothers, he showed them more attention because those are his kids. So from there, after he passed away, it just the use. I just left for treatment center. The program, things had got rough. I was spiraling out of control. And my cousin, she lives here. She's from South Florida, but she's a school teacher here. She came down and she was like, no, something's got to change. And she said, so she picked me up and she brought me here. And this was in 2022. I got here, I was 136 pounds, soaking wet. And I completed the program. And then I was working at the Rose on 103rd and Blandon. I was in the seafood department doing good, but then the liquor store was right there. So I hadn't started sneaking and drinking all over again. And the cycle began again. And then I found myself then I left here, I went back home to my mom's house again. And it got worse, it got bad. And the tears began to roll down my face, and I went to my mom. I said, I can't do this, I'm tired. I think I need to go back to City Rescue Mission. Now I'm back, Everything is good. I finished the program. I got my CDL license. I just got a job offer. I just completed my training, so I'm looking to go to Tennessee any day now. So God is working in my life. If He told me if I'm faithful to Him, He'll be faithful to me. And He's revealing Himself to me more than I can ever imagine that He is God. At times I didn't like myself. And in time, I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know what that looked like. When I asked somebody, how do you love yourself? I didn't understand what that meant. But now I get to, is basically taking care of yourself, making wise choices for yourself. And I didn't get that because I thought loving myself was harming myself because it was fun. Trying to be in the in crowd, which them people didn't give a crap about me. So I understand now that I have to love me and surround myself with positive people that's going in the right direction. I would say all of the classes were good because the main thing that the number one takeaway that I got is that the actual drug use is not the problem. It's the underlying issues of why you're doing it is the reason that you're doing it. So that's what I've learned. That's the biggest thing I learned from being here. And also the best thing I like to do was the choir. So when I was in the choir, so that was a way of escape for me. Well, the changes in my attitude is that I want something out of life. I don't want to just depend on nobody else. I want to do it for myself to be able to stand on my own 2 feet and not to be dependent on anyone else like I've done before. I made up my mind I don't want to go live with nobody else. I want to have my own place like I've had before. And I know I can do it because it's been done before. I am falling in love with myself again. I am realizing that I do have a purpose on this earth. I believe that God is working in my life. If I hadn't come to the City Rescue Mission, I'd probably be in a box or in jail somewhere. I'm thankful for the City Rescue Mission because I left and they allowed me to come back again. I completed the program, but it was like, yeah, come on back if you need to. And I'm grateful for that. Another opportunity. I hope people will support this City Rescue Mission because this place, it saves lives, it changes lives, and God is here in this place.